what a swing, I guess swings that we saw in this game, right? You have the excellent first half, then the rough third quarter. What did it take in the fourth quarter to turn things back in your favor?
It just took for us to lock back in. They came out, we missed a lot of easy shots. And I think they kind of got to us a little bit on the defensive end to where, we was concerned about that, mad at ourselves because we can't miss those. And, they went on the run. And we did a good job of sustaining it, coming together and collecting ourselves and coming out with the win.
A number of key plays in crunch time from you. One of them, the offensive rebound. You had initially kicked the ball out. Can you just tell me about kind of reading the path of the basketball?
Yeah, so, Luka's been doing a good job, him and LeBron doing a good job of, creating not only for themselves but for others, which they demand a lot of respect from other teams. So, they usually probably got more than one defender on them. And that opens a lane for guys like me to be able to go in there and, get offensive rebounds and then making the right play, finding the guy. Rui was hot, finding him, making sure he gets that ball.
How do you take some of this energy now as you go to Chicago and then, 4 more cities after that?
We got to bottle it up. We got to go look at the tape, look what we did right, look what we did wrong, fix the wrongs, stay with the rights.
Marcus, appreciate it, man.
Thank you guys so much.
LA survives a abysmal third quarter, being outscored by 21 alone in that quarter. They end up overcoming a second half 15-point deficit. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, later in the show. But let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story, because right now the Lakers, they improved a 14-2 big game in the clutch. They were able to execute when it mattered most. They showed some no quit in them, obviously pointing to the resiliency. Luka, 2 rebounds shy of a 33-point triple-double, but your guy, he was take your shot. Rui Hachimura coming alive down the stretch. LA improves to 2-1 on this 8-game Grammy road trip.
Still thinking about, we should have won that Clifford game. I'm still thinking it would have been a sweet 4-in-a-row branch, but nevertheless, the Lakers did do what they had to do to regain their momentum or get their chemistry back after that Clipper loss. I thought the start of the game was really, good for the Lakers. They got out, they got some good shots, they got some good defense. The ball was moving, Rui was knocking down shots, but then that third quarter they kind of collapsed and let Williams get to the bucket and get the lead back. But hey, they met the challenge, got it back together in the fourth, and executed well and spread the ball around. And Rui got hot again, and they were able to. And I think Hayes did a good job, protecting the rim. Marcus Smart had some plays where it kind of ignited them, and they just collectively did what they had to do in the fourth. But that third quarter, man, I was really upset with that third quarter. But it happens, teams come back, but it's how you react and recover, and they were able to do that.
James, Alley, I'm not going to lie. I looked at the standings about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Figured out the Lakers lose, they would drop to 7th in the West, below that line. They'd be in that play-in tournament field. But no need to worry about that. They're still in 5th with a really, really captivating finish to that fourth quarter. Allie, how do you beat a downtrodden Dallas team at home? How about a 37-point fourth quarter by the Lakers? That's going to help you. And you alluded to Rui. To me, Rui's the X factor tonight. He absolutely won this game for them. The 4-point play followed up with a 3-pointer. He has not been hitting from deep this entire month. Remember, he was hurt, missed some time, lost his starting job. This is a big kudos to Rui game. 17 points. It's his best output since the first week of December, James. I mean, he hasn't played this well in a long, long time. And granted, he hasn't been himself physically. But tonight, wow, if they can get production like this from him, night in and night out, and the clutch part of it too, those 7 points in the final few minutes. Rui should get the game ball tonight.
The intent to play the right way was there throughout the game. I thought the third quarter, offensively, we got some good looks. We had 7 turnovers in the quarter and missed 3 layups. And those turnovers allowed them to get out and run, get some transition points. They got at least 2 baskets after offensive rebounds. They scored after the missed free throw offensive rebound. So just, some some errors, I would say, but basketball is a game of imperfect, and there's going to be errors, and our team stayed with our intent to play the right way. And, we had guys, Jake, Smart, Rui, of course, make some big-time shots and big-time plays on the offensive end. I thought our 15, our 1 through 5, when we went small, that defense with our activity and our shifts and our on-ball containment. Luka had, we counted after the game, he had 6 straight stops where they targeted him. Just a fantastic job from him, and then makes sort of the game-sealing defensive play with the charge on Marshall. He was fantastic in the fourth quarter, and just picked apart their defense down the stretch. Yeah, I mean, they started that with Powell in the game, and then we just kind of spaced him in the corner. He was guarding LeBron, and Luka was able to get downhill. It was just our 3-1 spacing, and him going right. The good things are generally going to happen when you're small and you have shooting out there, and he made every single right read and play in that fourth down the stretch.
How vital was Smart's contributions down at this? I think when you fell down 15, you might have had an N1, and then he has to go to the line quickly after there, and then that one play where he brings up, looked like a short.
Yeah, I mean, that might have, the defensive play in transition to get back, that could have been a real backbreaker, and it was a momentum-saving play. So was the first and one, where we were still a double-digit lead. We were having a little bit of trouble scoring in the half court, and he gets the and one, he gets the foul in transition, then he gets the putback. He's been playing fantastic basketball for us lately, and all season. But a lot has been asked of him over the last month, and he's stepped up and he's played great.
You often talk about how Rui can go stretches without touching the ball, and tonight he comes up with 2 big threes for you.
Yeah.
How is he able to stay engaged in that still like that?
Yeah, I mean, we're running some off-ball stuff for him, and. He's done a nice job. We've gotten great looks, really, really high quality looks for him. And he missed a couple early in the game, and then just he took his shots tonight, and we're all very confident in him. He's a laser. He's a fantastic shooter. The 4-point play followed by the 3, that 7-point swing where we're down 5 and go up 2 in the matter of 30 seconds was huge. Greg St. Jean, when we were doing our defensive clips this morning, he had a great line, trust your help, don't rely on your help. And that was to everybody. That wasn't to one person in particular. That was to everybody. We were, showing some really good shell clips and some poor shell clips. And, I thought he did a great job of containing the basketball, being physical with his first bump outside the paint. One of them got called for a foul, side out of bounds on flag. But that was part of it. And then the backside with our shifts and our low man and our gang rebound mentality down the stretch allowed us to get stops.
How would you describe kind of the emotions and the feelings of being back here and being back in this atmosphere?
I mean, obviously there's always going to be emotions. I was happy to be back here. I went to my house, saw my cars. But, obviously it's always going to be emotional. So, I really appreciate how they cheered for me when I was introduced. And it was always going to be a special place for me.
Earlier this week you said it always kind of feels like home coming back here. In what way?
I mean, I was here 7 years, spent a lot of things happen, bad and good. So, kind of describe it when I went to Madrid when I was 13. Every time I went back to Slovenia, I kind of feel good. So that's why I was always going to be a special place, like I said, for me.
Lucas, ¿cómo te hace sentir después de un año ya ver tantos fans igual que siguen vistiendo tu camiseta? Todo eso, todo el apoyo que te dan. También quería preguntarte, ¿crees tú que Nicolás Anderson ha sido el que más te ha subestimado en tu carrera?
Bueno, siempre tenía una especial relación con los fans de aquí, siempre me han respetado y siempre les respeté, así que siempre tengo mucho cariño por ellos y ellos por mí, así que eso siempre va a estar ahí. Y una segunda que no sé.
What makes this win special for you?
Sorry?
What makes this win special for you, considering you played for Dallas and you got traded to the Lakers?
I mean, it's always, like I say, it's a special place. I mean, I always gonna want to win, no matter what. I mean, every game I want to win, but obviously this one's a little bit different. But again, at the point, I mean, I want to win every game.
Luka, your first game here was obviously really filled with emotions. What was it like for you this time around?
There's still emotions, trust me, but, a little bit better, a little bit easier for me. Obviously, like I said before, how the fans accept me here, it's unbelievable. I still got a lot of friends here, players, some other people, so I'm happy to be back a little bit.
Is that why you walked towards the wrong locker room?
I didn't see that.
Just to go back to how the weather is right now, and the fans still turned out. How do you feel about that?
That was really special, I didn't know what to expect before because I know how the city gets when the weather is this bad. But I really appreciate a lot of people showing up.
Luka pregame, JJ challenge, post game after the Clippers, JJ was pretty pointed and said we need to pass the ball more, and you're the player that has the ball the most. Did you take that as a challenge, and how did you feel tonight as a passer and the way your teammates responded?
Yeah, I mean, everybody had a great game, The ball was shared with 15 shots up, so take the JJ's point.
What were you keeping 22 people into that suite, those fans?
Yeah, that was, something that was special for me to do. I see what a lot of them did on social media. So, and after when I got traded, how much support they gave me. Obviously, there's a lot more fans than that, but I could only play 22 of them.
Luka, late in the game, you had to drive. That was kind of a dagger. Looked like you might have had a couple words for the Mavs bench, and then you take the charge on the other end. What's the emotion of that moment, and did you enjoy the bucket or the charge more?
I would say the charge for sure. I enjoyed the charge more, but the bucket, I heard the bench talking about travel. There was no travel, it was 2 steps, so that's why I just look over there and he had no words.
Speaking of that, last quarter, just talk about the momentum shift in the second to give you guys good.
I mean, it was pretty bad third quarter for us. They scored a lot of points, and we didn't score in the third quarter. I felt like, what were we scoring? Oh, damn, 14. Yeah, we didn't score. But in the fourth quarter, everybody we were playing aggressive defense, so that's how we got back.
The game can have big swings, especially nowadays, but how do you maintain a certain, level when you have the big lead, and then all of a sudden it goes away, they have a big lead, and then you start to mount that kind of final comeback? How do you stay even in those moments?
Sometimes the game is a game of runs, and obviously we had the 13-point lead at halftime. They went on a run in third, took the lead, went up big on us, so we still had time. I mean, obviously to start the fourth, we still had time to make a push. About 6 minutes ago, we started to kind of make that push, and we was able to close it.
There were a couple plays, you had a steal, you had a block, and then kind of the ensuing transition that really kind of can flip a game. I know that's something you pride yourself on, but is there kind of another level that you can access, or you kind of sensing that kind of a play is needed, or what was going on defensively for that to happen?
Yeah, absolutely I can, and I've always kind of been like, kind of that anchor voice to our defense, over the last few years. And obviously when A was here, he was kind of the physical anchor of the defense. So, but my voice and me being able to see things before it happened, knowing the sets, guys are in, trying to put myself in position to help my teammates if it break down, or them help me, vice versa. So we all did a great job. I thought Luka's defense in the fourth quarter was sensational, and everybody kind of fed off that. Jake was great, Rui was great, and then when we made a miss, we was able to clean glass and then score another end.
You mentioned several guys by name. How about Marcus as well, and some of the two-way contributions he made? He had that big and one, and then he broke up that, it looked like a short basket for Cooper, chasing it down there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big-time play, for us, and because we had something on the other end, kind of had a numbers game. We turned the ball over. Marcus didn't give up on the play, was able to get a good, clean strip on Cooper, and he was able to come back. And I think that's when Jake hit the three. So that was a big time play.
LeBron, you've been teammates with Luka now for almost a year. You've been involved in some emotional trades in your career as well. What part of a player do you unlock maybe when you're kind of working through these emotional trades coming back to the city that you were traded in? And have you seen Luka achieve a new level to his game?
A new level to his game, I think the most important is just his comfort. Obviously when you get traded mid-season and, him spending his first 7 or 8 years here, obviously it was a shock to everybody. Everybody that was involved, everybody that wasn't involved to this whole sports world, but obviously him and, the guys that was involved in the trade. But, I think the biggest thing, with this year, is just a little bit, just more comfortable, understanding the system, understanding the city, the city embracing him, understanding that, this is his team, so, we're all rallying around him, and obviously we know it's kind of an emotional, / big game, when you come back and play your former team, and, you show why he's, who he is tonight, obviously.
Any thoughts of Cooper Flag in his first few months in the league?
It's getting better and better each and every month.
You guys started the strip with the comeback in Denver, the late push against the Clippers, and obviously tonight's comeback. We've talked with JJ about the team's identity. How much do you feel maybe resiliency being a part of that identity, if it isn't already, hasn't been already?
We know we're one of the best clutch teams in the NBA, but we got to give ourselves an opportunity to just play more consistent basketball, the 48 minutes, and obviously we had some good minutes tonight. Obviously the third quarter was, pretty bad for us offensively and defensively. I think we got 35, only scored 14, so outscored us by 19 that quarter. It's not good, but I thought, obviously in the fourth quarter we picked it back up. So for about 36 minutes, I thought we played some pretty good ball.